Hey sis, can you believe we are at another Monday again? Here we are. And this episode today that I'm going to be sharing with you is all about 5 questions that you can ask yourself to help you let yourself be. We are talking about letting be and all about how you are stepping into your very best truth, your very best self. But in order to do that, you have to let yourself be. This one is going to bring up so much for you. And I truly feel like if you've been struggling with where you are in your journey, that you're not as far along as you want to be, that you aren't where you want to be, that you aren't who you want to be, that you don't like where you currently are, and you're sitting here just giving yourself all of that garbage in your mind, that's that you're never going to get there. This is the power of letting it be. Let's get to it. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you. Because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess, trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it. So you can start living your best life as your best self. Hey there, ladies. I hope you've had a really great weekend. I am rounding out the weekend here with the boys. My husband is actually out of town this weekend, and so I get all of the boy mom love. It has been rainy, so I'm sure you can only imagine us in this house. We are riding go-karts. We have hoverboards out. We are doing all the things. It is a real cluster. But I am loving every single boy mom moment, and I hope you've had such a great weekend. As we were making bacon, hanging out this morning, we actually started listening to some Alexa jams. I don't know, we find it fun to do random dance parties in the kitchen. And we started listening to different genres of music, and of course my kids are into all of the current stuff. Like my 10-year-old, he's like, put on Morgan Wallen. But I'm like, let's put on some oldies. Let's do some old stuff. And of course, don't judge me. The oldies for me is like the 90s, okay? But we did get to listen to some Beatles. And this reminded me of the Beatles hit, the Song of Surrender, the Song of Acceptance, the Song of the Now, and that was Let It Be. And Paul McCartney sings, and when the night is cloudy, there's still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. This brought so much inspo into my mind today as I was sitting down recording the pod, and it goes perfectly with the topic that I wanted to talk to you about. Let it be, it's a release of the desire, the need to know all the details and how everything is going to turn out in your life. And it points to hope in the here and now. And I wanted to bring this to awareness because we always think about letting go when it comes to recovery, when it comes to releasing the eating disorder or the disordered eating behaviors that we've held on to for decades. But what if instead of letting go, we replaced that with letting be? Because letting go, it's inspirational, it's pure and total release, it's total surrender, it's laying it down. But that can feel so heavy in the early phases. That can feel like a daily battle. And if you knew how to let go, let's be for real, you would have already. Am I right, sis? See, in my journey, I would let go. I would surrender. I would pray out to God. I would do this daily. I would say, please take this away from me. I feel trapped. I feel stuck. And I would release it, and then I would pick it back up. If you're there, if you've been in that struggle, I want you to know that I realized that there's a stepping stone to letting go. There's a stepping stone to full surrender, and that's letting it be. Letting go, it involves that total release, but letting be involves acceptance. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. Letting go is releasing total control, but perception is reality. And many of you, just like me, view letting go as a negative. Whenever you read those fancy quotes like let go and let God, I love the underlying principle behind that. But when I was navigating the treacherous waters of my eating disorder, it felt like if I could just let it go, I would have let it go. And the more I tried to let it go, the more I actually held on tighter. And so how do I let go? Because that feels negative. That feels like I'm letting myself go. That feels lazy. That feels impossible. Sis, what you could try on today is letting be instead. Letting be. Let it be. Let be. Because to let be is to listen to your body. To let be is to listen to your thoughts. You see, overwhelm, stress, anxiety, those are all just symptoms. They're symptoms. The real deep root is getting to the core of who you are. And that is learning to respond and react differently in discomfort. Because over time, when you felt uncomfortable, over time, when you felt fearful, over time, when you felt judged or not enough or rejected, you turned to these unhealthy coping mechanisms. But there's a different way, and that is learning to respond and react differently. When you let be, you create space for that. You create space for what is versus believing any parts of you are bad and should be gone. Pema Chodron says that nothing ever goes away until it teaches us what we need to know. And I happen to agree with her. And if you're right here, right now, struggling in the cycle, you're just learning. You're just growing. You have something else to learn. You, sister friend, are a walking creation. So rather than judging the parts of you that are no longer serving you, causing shame and discontent and guilt and misery, how can you make room for those parts right now? To actually create sustainable change, you have to create a different response. You have to change your mind. And so holding on and analyzing, wishing and hoping, wanting a different way, but doing nothing to get there is keeping you in the disorder. It's giving the disorder more power. But letting be, being as who you are right now, is accepting all that you're going through right now so that you can embrace what hasn't yet come. But knowing in your heart that it's coming. And that's the difference. It's right now I can just be in this moment. Right now I can just be mindful and present. Right now I can just know that my life is a little chaotic. And right now, it is teaching me something. This is working for me so that I can bless a life one day, so that I can get onto the other side of this and know that I did everything I can and completely transformed my life. But that takes time, none of which any of us want to spend. But in order to truly, truly find freedom from these unhealthy coping mechanisms, from restriction, from calorie counting, from looking at labels, from telling up in your mind at the end of the day all that you've had, you have to embrace the here and now. You have to figure this out. You have to accept where you are. That's the first step. So you have to let be before you can let go. And so 5 questions to really ground yourself in this concept. I have a piece of paper, and on my paper, I have LETBE. Let be. We're going to run down the 5 questions. If you have a piece of paper in front of you where you can do this with me, feel free to pause me and really listen in and experience this with me as I talk through every single one of these questions. But if you don't have a piece of paper, that's okay too. I just want you to listen in to encourage you to let yourself be. Just let be. So L in lit stands for love. How do I love myself? Sis, how do you love yourself? Maybe that looks like nourishing yourself. What does that look like for you right now? How do I love myself? L is for love. E is express. How do I express myself? How do you express who you are right now? Not who you want to become, not who you aren't yet, not who you were 5 years ago, who you are right now. T is for true. How do I be true to myself? You see, recovery is such a journey that I realized I wasn't true to who I was. I was hanging out with all the wrong people. I was in and around all these places and environments that were actually contributing to my sickness. And I didn't even recognize that. And in order to be true to myself, I had to start using my voice. I had to start setting boundaries. I had to start saying, like, this isn't for me. And I had to start giving myself grace and compassion, something that I hadn't done much in my life. I want you to ask yourself today, how do I be true and authentic to who you are? Not who somebody else wants you to be, not who Instagram sees as the most fit or the skinniest or the prettiest, but true to you. B is for believe. How do I believe in myself? Maybe right now you feel like you can't. Maybe right now you've actually given up on you. But a way to learn how to believe in yourself is to give yourself tiny goals that you can push towards and accomplish, because that's proving to yourself when you hit those tiny goals that you are capable, that you can do it. And that's what I had to do. For me, it looked like experiencing food exposures, putting myself in front of foods that scared me the most. Because for me, I felt like I just could not accomplish those things. And so when I faced it, when I did it one time, it felt super foreign. And then it became easier and easier. Over time, I was laying a foundation of belief to where I literally woke up one day and was like, I believe that this is possible for me. Instead of, I believe that it's not. Sis, if it's possible for me, if recovering from an eating disorder is possible for me, it is so possible for you. So how do you believe in you? And the last letter is E, empower. How do I empower myself? What's empowering to you? You see, we all have different ways of empowerment. For me, I liked to leverage rewards because I was really a type of person who loved high performance. Maybe that's you. I'm a high performer, I'm a go-getter, and I'm just the type of person that if I set myself a bar, I would always hit the bar and then be on to the next thing. And so while that hindered me in the disorder because it was constantly never good enough, I just wanted the number on the scale to go lower and lower and lower, I actually was able to use that same characteristic of my being to empower me to get myself out of it. I would give myself goals. And when I hit those little goals, then I was able to give myself a reward and feel empowered in that process. How do I empower myself? Ask yourself that one. So remember this. L is for love. E is express. T is true. B is believe. And E is empower. Let be, my friend. Be you and let yourself be. Whatever comes, I want you to let it come. And whatever is, I want you to let it be, and let it hurt, and let it suck, and let it heal, and let it matter, and let it be, and let it go. Because when we force ourselves, we actually attract what it is that we're forcing. So if you're forcing yourself to try to change and you don't feel like you're changing, it's because you're putting so much energy into the change that you're actually fearing what it is you want. But when you let something be, it flows in, it flows out, there's abundance, it goes sideways. Think of like a running river. My wish for you, sis, is that you ask yourself these 5 questions and this framework, and that you use it today to help you let be. And my hope for you is that you allow yourself to continue being, to continue learning, and to embrace the you that's becoming even better than you are right now. The thing about letting yourself be is that you allow yourself to honor who you are right now. You allow yourself to be in the present moment. And for so many of us, that moment is come and gone. We are so worried about who we used to be and repeating those patterns and behaviors and living in that trauma that we can't stand in our current truth and reality. We so much so want to be where we're not yet that we can't appreciate where we are now. But when the night is cloudy, there's still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow and just let it be. If this message has inspired you today, I want you to go out, share it with a friend. And also, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for coming here to this show, for listening, and thank you so much for allowing me to pour into your life. I am truly honored and blessed. My practice is thriving, and this is something that I never thought was possible. I never thought it was possible. I never could imagine myself being in entrepreneurship and impacting so many lives. And so I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you if you're a current client of mine, and I want to say thank you for your listen to the show. And if you're looking for support, I just want you to know that every single client that comes into my inbox and into my corner of the universe, I have already prayed about, I have already sat with, I have already said, if she is listening and this impacts her, and she feels the urge and the nudge to reach out to get support and help, I will be there. I will be there to walk you through it. But that is one of the biggest steps to take, is just leaning into that acceptance, leaning into where you are right now, and realizing that it's okay to accept it. That doesn't make you bad. That doesn't make you wrong. You don't have to be ashamed. And so I want to hear from you, whether it's in our private Facebook community, herbestselfsociety.com, or whether you're looking for hand-in-hand support. You can go out and fill out a client application on my website, herbestself.co. But friend, just know today that you can live in the here and now, and that this unhealthy pattern, these unhealthy behaviors, disordered eating has robbed you because you're in survival mode. If that's you, that's nothing to feel guilty about or ashamed about. But I want you to know that you don't have to live there. You can make a different choice. You can let yourself be right where you are, and you can refuse to stay stuck. Have a great start to your week, and we'll chat real soon. Bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.